Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You wake up in the morning feeling rested. Your mind is clear. Your body feels strong. You move with confidence and people feel your presence the moment you enter the room. Now, open your eyes. If this feels like a distant memory, you are not broken. You are not weak. And you are definitely not alone. Welcome. This story is for men over 40 who feel like something inside them quietly switched off. No warning, no injury, no single moment, just a slow fade. You are still doing everything you are supposed to do. You work hard, you provide, you stay responsible, but your energy is lower, your belly is harder to control, your motivation comes and goes, and the fire you once had feels muted. Here is the uncomfortable truth no one tells you. This is not normal aging. This is biological shutdown. Right now, millions of men over 40 are losing their testosterone silently. No pain, no clear symptoms, just slow erosion of strength, focus, confidence, and drive. And the most dangerous part is this. Most men think this is just life now. They accept fatigue. They accept weight gain. They accept brain fog. They accept emotional flatness. And acceptance is the real enemy. Because the male body was not designed to decline at 40. It was designed to adapt, respond, and rebuild. But only if you understand what is actually happening. Modern life looks comfortable, but it is hostile to male biology. The food you eat, the light you see at night, the stress you carry every day, the chemicals in your environment. None of this existed for most of human history. Your body still runs on ancient wiring, but you are forcing it to survive in a modern cage. This is why motivation alone does not work. This is why willpower fails. This is why most men feel stuck. They are fighting biology with discipline, and biology always wins. But here is the shift. The moment you stop blaming yourself and start understanding the system, everything changes. This video series is not about quick fixes. It is not about hype. It is not about becoming 20 again. It is about reclaiming what was always meant to be yours. Strength, clarity, presence, authority. When a man realizes that the problem is not his effort, but the system around him, a strange thing happens. Relief, because guilt disappears, and clarity begins. Here is what most men never stop to examine. Nothing in your daily routine is neutral. Everything is either supporting your biology or silently draining it. The water bottle on your desk, the receipts you touch, the detergent on your clothes, the air inside your home. These are not harmless details. They are signals. Modern chemicals imitate estrogen inside the male body. Your brain cannot tell the difference, so it responds the only way it knows how. By reducing testosterone production, not aggressively, not suddenly, but quietly, year after year. At the same time, food stopped being food. It became entertainment, constant snacking, constant sugar, constant insulin spikes. And insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it is a storage signal. When insulin stays high, fat burning shuts down, and the fat that builds up around your organs becomes hormonally active. It converts testosterone into estrogen. This means the very weight you struggle to lose is actively working against you. Not because you are lazy, but because your body chemistry has been pushed out of balance. Then there is stress. Not the kind your ancestors faced. Not danger, not survival. This is slow, endless pressure. Deadlines, notifications, financial noise, mental overload. Your nervous system never gets the signal that it is safe, so cortisol stays elevated. And cortisol and testosterone cannot rise together. One cancels the other. This is why you can train hard and still feel flat. This is why motivation feels inconsistent. This is why recovery takes longer than it used to. And then comes the final drain. Dopamine, endless scrolling, endless stimulation, no effort, no reward delay. Your brain adapts, ambition weakens, focus shortens, drive fades. Not because you lack purpose, but because your reward system has been hijacked. None of this happens overnight. That is why it is so dangerous. By the time most men notice something is wrong, the decline feels normal. But normal does not mean optimal. And it definitely does not mean inevitable. Because the same body that adapted downward can adapt upward, if you change the signals. The moment you remove the constant threats, the body begins to respond. Hormones rebalance, energy returns, focus sharpens. This is not hope, this is physiology. And once you understand that, you stop chasing motivation and start restoring the foundation. Once the noise is reduced and the damage is understood, the body does something remarkable. It starts listening again. Your biology has only one real question. Are you living in a world of safety or a world of threat? For years, your body has been answering that question based on poor sleep, artificial light, constant eating, and mental overload. So it adapted to survival mode. But survival mode is not where strength lives. Strength lives in recovery. This is where most men make a mistake. They try to force progress, more workouts, more supplements, more discipline. But the body does not respond to force, it responds to signals. The first signal is rhythm. When you eat matters as much as what you eat. When you give your digestive system long breaks, something powerful happens. Insulin drops, fat burning switches on, inflammation reduces. Inside your cells, a process called autophagy activates. Old, damaged components are cleared out. New, efficient ones are built. This is not starvation. This is maintenance. Your ancestors did this naturally. Not because it was trendy, but because food was not constant. The second signal is light. Morning light tells your brain it is daytime. Night darkness tells it to rest. When this rhythm is restored, sleep deepens. And testosterone is built during deep sleep. Not in the gym, not in supplements, but at night. The third signal is resistance. Not endless cardio, not punishment workouts. The kind of resistance that tells the nervous system, this body is useful. This body is needed. Heavy but controlled movements, short bursts of intensity. Enough challenge to demand adaptation, but enough recovery to allow growth. And then there is the mind. Because even with perfect nutrition and training, a constantly anxious mind will sabotage progress. When a man learns to stop reacting to everything, stress hormones fall. Decision-making improves. Confidence stabilizes. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that does not need validation. The kind that holds posture without effort. This is where the shift happens. The man who felt like he was declining starts to feel grounded again. Energy becomes predictable. Focus lasts longer. Motivation no longer feels forced. Not because life became easier, but because the internal system became stronger. This is not a transformation you show off. It is a transformation you live inside. And once this foundation is rebuilt, everything else becomes possible. At some point, every man reaches a quiet decision. Not dramatic, not emotional, just clear. He decides whether he will drift or whether he will take responsibility for the signals he sends to his own body. Because now you know the truth. Decline is not a mystery, and strength is not luck. It is built through small, repeatable actions, done consistently, without obsession, without extremes. This is not about becoming 20 again. It is about becoming sharp, capable, and grounded at the age you are now. When a man sleeps better, eats with intention, moves with purpose, and controls his stress, his biology responds. Not slowly, not reluctantly, but predictably. Confidence stops being something he tries to project. It becomes something people feel. Energy is no longer borrowed from caffeine. Focus no longer collapses in the afternoon. The mirror stops being an enemy. And most importantly, he stops feeling confused about his own body. This is the difference between aging passively and aging deliberately. You do not need perfection. You need direction. And once direction is clear, discipline becomes simple. If this message resonates with you, do not let it fade into motivation. Turn it into action. Start by observing your habits. Remove one signal that weakens you. Add one signal that strengthens you, and repeat.